Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, March 26th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. Start with the big picture, of course, work our way into the day itself. This is a weekly channel structure that goes back to the July high from last year. 162.88 is the base. 242.66 is the ceiling. We did close below this base. About 2 weeks ago, actually, it looks like 3 weeks, but I think it's 2 weeks ago this Friday, as I recall. Is that right? Yeah. 2 weeks ago this Friday, we settled below this structure by the required 1% margin, and then the following Monday, we gapped right back above it. So that was a reversal, a failure to follow through on a long-term sell signal rejection like that is in essence a valid sign of strength, near to mid-term, not necessarily longer term, but I do think it still points to the 194.43 channel top to 201.27 longer term descending 1/3 speed line as a realistic 2 to 3 week objective. Now we're almost 2 weeks into that now, and we've yet to reach it, so it could be 3 to 5 weeks. It looks like this on the daily chart. You can see how after gapping above this structure, that was a week ago yesterday, a week ago Monday, that was the clear rejection. We tested the channel structure, came off it for a few days, right back at you last Thursday, Friday of last week. Modest recovery on Monday. We're still in this sort of range bound, but I still hold the 195.61 as a 2 to 3 week target. That is the same structure that we find on the weekly chart, FYI, at 194.43. So that is the big picture. Now back to kind of the day itself. We still have, of course, 163.84. That is the same long-term channel bottom on the daily chart that we find at 162.88 on the weekly chart. That is your pullback support. All the minor points in here have been carefully, painstakingly chosen, but none of them, from our perspective, has a solid pivot point qualities. In other words, if violated, would turn the market in one direction or another on an intraday basis. But I will say that holding above 163.84 does allow the 181.50 formation, possibly today, but over the next day or two anyway. 181.50 rising daily converges with this 50% upside retracement from the February high against the more recent low over the next couple of days. This area can contain daily buying pressures, possibly on a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 day basis, back to the trend line or channel bottom at that point in time within a few days, and possibly even back to 163.84 within a full week of testing what I would just call the lower 180s, 181.50 to 183.06. Now, if we close today above 181.50, it would also be nice if we settled above 183.06. It would make things easy. I would think then we should, within 3 to 5 days of doing so, actually reach our 195.61 2 to 3 week target. Now, if we close above 181.50, I'm not talking 181.51 or 181.55. That's just too close. But if we close out in the 182 handle, I think you can go with that buy signal. If you're itching to go long and you weren't able to recently in the mid to lower 160s, then you can do so above 181.50. We're 3 to 5 days away then from reaching 195.61, where profits can be taken for those of you who got long a week ago when we, reversed and gapped right back above the channel bottom, and shorts can be set over the 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week time frame, because I do think that as we push into this 194.43 to 201.27 region, not only can longs be liquidated for you 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week swing traders who may have gotten long a week ago, but also a short set opportunity for falling back into the lower 160s over the following 2 to 3, 3 to 5 weeks. We could fill this wedge out for another month, or I don't know about two. I doubt that. One's going to give over the next couple of months. It'll either be yet another settlement below the 162.88 channel bottom, or we'll close above 201.27. And if we do, over the next few weeks, close above the 201.27 descending 1/3 speed line, we have ourselves a 2 to 3 month. I think it's more like 2 month, 1 to 2 month rally to 242.66, where we could top out into the third quarter and fall away again. Downside, if we happen to close today below 163.84, that doesn't look good. I wouldn't recommend staying long, even if we don't do so by a 1% margin. And if you would rather use the weekly channel bottom, that's probably better anyway at 162.88. Now, if we're talking a Tuesday settlement below 162.88, I think is your sign to exit any long position you may have acquired over the last week when we reversed back above it. Whether you go short, though, is another question altogether. And I do think that should be reserved for a weekly settlement Thursday. Last trading day this week is Thursday, below the 160.51 low from a couple of weeks ago. I think in combination with closing below channel support once again and below that low, I think is your signal once and for all for continuing south over the following 2 to 3 months to the 101.81 January 23 low. And while we're at it, we could continue all the way down to the 83.26 long-term channel top. I'd see that as a 2 to 3 month target if we close Thursday below 160.51. Until then, especially holding above 162.88, as I say, 3 to 5 week swing traders are long, presumably into the mid 190s, the low 200 area, where profits can be taken, and a short set as we move through April and into May trade. And inversely, if we were to close above 201.27, once again go long up to 242.66. I don't think there's really anything that needs to be fleshed out beyond what I already have. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We've got 2 stock picks coming up over the next day or two for the abbreviated week. 181.50 is your pivot point through the rest of the week. We can sell that into the rest of the week, into next week, possibly back into the low 160s. And if we close above it, the objective above 163.84 that exists at 195.61, then likely within 3 to 5 days. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesday's Tesla report. You have a great day.